The word alcohol actually covers a broad family of chemical compounds, most of which are toxic to humans. The specific one found in beer, wine, and spirits is ethanol, and it's the only form of alcohol that is safe to consume in any meaningful sense. Ethanol is what fermentation and distillation produce, and it is responsible for every effect associated with drinking. Once swallowed, ethanol moves through the stomach and small intestine and is absorbed directly into the bloodstream, faster on an empty stomach, slower when food is present to absorb some of it. From the blood it reaches the liver, which begins breaking it down using an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase. The liver can only process roughly 1 standard drink per hour. Everything beyond that rate stays in the bloodstream and circulates through the body, including the brain. Blood alcohol concentration rises, and the effects accumulate the longer intake outpaces processing. The brain is where drunkenness actually happens. Your brain communicates through chemical messengers, some that tell neurons to fire and become more active, and some that tell them to slow down and calm. The main calming messenger is called GABA, and the main activating one is called glutamate. Under normal conditions, these two balance each other out, keeping you sharp, coordinated, and in control. Ethanol disrupts that balance. It boosts GABA and suppresses glutamate, pushing the brain progressively toward a slower, less controlled state. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain sitting just behind your forehead that is responsible for judgment, decision-making, and impulse control, is hit first and hardest. As more alcohol enters the brain, more systems start to slow down, and the effects stack up from there. That suppression of the prefrontal cortex is what produces most of the recognizable effects of being drunk. With impulse control reduced, people become more talkative, more confident, and less socially guarded, what feels like happiness or euphoria in the early stages. As blood alcohol rises further, the cerebellum, which controls balance and motor coordination, begins to be affected, producing the unsteady walk and impaired hand movements. The brain's emotional centers become dysregulated, making feelings more intense and less filtered, which is why alcohol amplifies whatever emotional state someone arrived in. Higher levels suppress the brain's alertness systems, causing drowsiness and slowed reactions. At very high concentrations, the brainstem functions controlling breathing and heart rate are affected, which is where alcohol becomes life-threatening. Why alcohol affects people so differently comes down to several factors. Body weight and composition matter because ethanol distributes through body water. So a smaller person with less body mass reaches a higher blood alcohol concentration from the same amount. Biological sex plays a role because women generally have less alcohol dehydrogenase and a higher body fat ratio, meaning they process alcohol more slowly and feel the effects sooner. Genetics determine how efficiently the liver produces those enzymes in the first place. Some people break down alcohol quickly, others slowly, and that variation is almost entirely inherited. Tolerance built through regular drinking causes the brain to adapt over time, requiring more alcohol to produce the same effect. And the mood you are in before you start drinking influences what kind of drunk you become. Someone already happy tends to get happier. Someone already angry tends to get angrier. Because alcohol amplifies what's already there rather than creating something new. Click the video on your screen right now and I'll explain another everyday mystery you've wondered about your whole life but never thought to look up.